Yo, Matt.
What?
They just announced Frank West. Yeah, another one, man. Another one. Welcome, guys, to Who is Frank West? Oh, man. Well, guys, this character seems to be on a lot of people's hate list for some reason. On some of our comment sections on one of our videos, somebody said, no one ever asked for Frank West. Well, you're right, nobody ever did. Nobody ever asked for Hawkeye. But he's there. Nobody ever asked for, what's his name? Arthur. He's there. Why don't you guys go and do a crap storm on that one? Anyways, let's go into this. Frank West is one of Capcom's most iconic characters. What am I kidding? He has been one of the main characters in Dead Rising. He was the main character in Dead Rising 1, Dead Rising 4. 2 and 3, it was different main characters. But for 2, they made a DLC where it was him being the main character. It was like another side to the story of part 2 of his point of view. He first appeared, like I said, in Dead Rising 1, which came out in 2006. West is a freelancer photographer, a photojournalist turned zombie hunter. The character has been well received in video game collocation as well as by fans, mainly in the West, leading Frank to appear in several more games outside of the Dead Rising series. Really? Keiji Ifumi, producer of Dead Rising and Mega Man, wanted the main character, Frank West, to be different from the usual Japanese character, a young and beautiful protagonist. In the beginning, the staff considered making the character ugly and fat. They got some part there right. However, the American branch of Capcom said he was too ugly. Inafune then wanted to create every man that looked average rather than beautiful or ugly. His conception as rough, tough, and gritty character was aimed primarily to attract the Western audience, us American Yankees. Let's see. Introduced in the first game, Frank West is the player character, a famed freelancer photographer and photojournalist who has covered many world events, wars, and other big stories. Lately, however, his career has begun to fizzle out. Looking for the next big scoop, he stumbles onto some strange events happening in a small town of Willamette, Colorado. There he winds up in a barricade shopping mall and attempts to rescue a host of human survivors from zombie hordes and violent psychopaths laying siege to the mall while also covering the story. Frank makes his return in Dead Rising 2 Case West and fights along Chuck Green after rescuing him from Fortune City as they tackle Fenotrans at one of their facilities. Fenotrans? What the heck is Fenotrans? In the end, Frank escapes the facility with Chuck, though Isabel Keyes was kidnapped by Dr. Malin. He has successfully retrieved evidence to help clear Chuck's name in the Fortune City disaster. Frank reappears in Dead Rising 2 Off the Record, which is an alternate version of the Dead Rising 2 storyline in which Frank is the protagonist. In this version of the story, Frank became an overnight celebrity for his actions in exposing Wilmette accident. Cashing in on his success, Frank released a memoir, hosted a talk show, and used his fame and money to treat his zombies' wounds from Wilmette with Sombrex, among other perks. Unfortunately, between his squandered money and a series of skating scandals, Frank's show was cancelled and his stardom quickly plummeted. In desperation, Frank goes to Fortune City to appear on Terror is Reality as a competitor and make some quick money, but is trapped in the city when the zombie outbreak begins through it. Though at first Frank sees the outbreak as his big comeback, he gradually learns of the terrifying conspiracy behind it and becomes more determined to uncover the truth. In Dead Rising 3, Frank does not appear in the main story, but is playable in the Super Ultra Dead Rising Arcade Remix Hyper Edition EX Plus Alpha downloadable content. Frank returns as the main protagonist in Dead Rising 4, in which he now works as a college photographer teacher and returns to Wilmette Willamette 16 years after the events of the first game, only to be caught in the middle of another zombie outbreak. West is a playable character in the Tatsunoko vs. Capcom Ultimate All-Stars fighting game, with his special moves revolving around the use of zombies and the makeshift weapons from Dead Rising. He's one of 6 Capcom characters added to the fighting game Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3, a standalone update version of Marvel's Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds. He has special dialogue with Nova, the Hulk, and Spider-Man, the later of which he tries to compete with a rival photographer. He also appears as one of the characters at players' disposal in the tactical role-playing game Project X Zone, where he is paired with Hasenko from Darkstalker series. West also appears as a multiplayer character in Capcom Lost Planet Extreme Conditions. Really? Didn't know that. And in the sequel, Lost Planet 2. In Valve's add-on content, The Passing for Left 4 Dead 2, a message from Frank directed to Otis appears among the pop culture messages graffitied on the wall of a bar. Hey, I'm gonna have to put in Left 4 Dead and see that. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Anyways, guys, there's a special note here from Capcom. For better or worse, Capcom of Japan has understood that the West likes Frank. So maybe that's why he's called Frank West. Rightly or wrong, Capcom of Japan is convinced that Joe Sixpack here in America loves Frank West. He will be making appearances in as many games as they can get him into. I don't know if that's true. But this character has a big portfolio of games, more than Haggard, which is more, I guess you can say that he should be in the games more than Haggard. I mean, he fights zombies. I mean, if you all haven't seen the Marvel Comics with zombies, it actually makes sense that he's in it. Seeing gameplay from Maximilian Dude's channel, I don't know if you guys have. Check him out. Sure, a lot of you have. He's a big YouTuber. He has video clips that he caught while he was there. Frank West, Haggard, Spider-Man, Nemesis, and so on. And you know what? Some of these characters, even though they're from Marvel's Capcom 3, they seem to have new mechanics to their attacks. Some attacks were taken from Daredevil, apparently, from some of the players that were playing Evo. He is missing some attacks. That's kind of weird. But that some of these characters have new attacks and new ways of approaching situations. Like Frank West has new specials. Excuse me. In one of the games that I saw Maximilian Dudes, he was using tripods and stuff like that for attacks, which is weird. I don't know what kind of character he is as a playable factor. If he's a trapper or what, or a keep away, but we'll see. Anyway, guys, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching another video of Who Is series, and I am actually surprised that this series has gone as it had had. This series has had past 200 views on a lot of videos, and to be honest, I haven't done any Marvel characters because I don't think there's any need to. Not because I don't think they're interesting, because I think they're very interesting. I just think you guys are smart enough to know who they are. But if you guys want me to do Who Is Marvel characters, let me know. Because if anything, I will try to put a video of every character every week, or 2 characters a week, so we can get all the characters out before the game comes out. Let me know in the comment section what you think of that idea. Do you want me to do Marvel characters too, or just keep it with Capcom and just do one a week? That's what I've been doing. One a week, and it's been doing pretty good. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, thanks for your time. Have a good one.